Bloomington. Welcome to the 2019 Be More Awards. I'm Joe Wren, your Master of Ceremonies tonight, anchor of Indiana News Desk at WTIU.
And I am Lucy Shake, the Interim Director of the City of Bloomington Volunteer Network. And how about a round of applause for Kai Bookwalter and that delicious Gordon Blade catering for our reception. And for all of those amazing volunteers who made it disappear so quickly. Yes, volunteers are everywhere out there today.
Lucy, the Be More Awards is one of my favorite nights. If you've never been, if this is your first time, this is really like the Bloomington Academy Awards. I said that last year.
It's just like that.
We had a pre-show ceremony. We had a ceremony. There's a post-show dinner too that you'll talk about later. But as each volunteer tonight takes his or her turn in the spotlight, we learn how much our community gets involved and participates in making Bloomington an amazing place to live. It reminds me how lucky we are to live in a place such as Bloomington.
Absolutely. Every day I get to work with volunteers, so it's tireless. And Joe, for the first time this year, the Volunteer Network has attempted to quantify that generosity that we all know exists in Bloomington with a community survey of our partner organizations. And I don't know if many people realize this, but we at the Volunteer Network work with over 300 community partner organizations who use our web platform to recruit volunteers. And about 123 of those organizations participated in the survey, and what they reported was staggering. Staggering. Over 30,500 volunteers were reported by those 123 organizations doing good in our community in just 1 year's time. That's a big number. And to really imagine the impact of those volunteers, our partner organizations logged over 4 million volunteer hours. I do that math many times over. Amazing. And here's the biggest number of all. If you take that 4 million hours and you use the accepted dollar value of volunteer time, which is $23.73 an hour for Indiana, to calculate it all together, you get the total of nearly $117 million of human capital serving our community last year. And Joe, I hear you have some impressive numbers to mention tonight as well.
Well, it was 50 years ago, this year, just a few months ago, that WTIU began broadcasting here in Bloomington. And if you would indulge me, we would like to mark the special occasion with a special proclamation tonight with Mayor Hamilton. If you could join us now at the podium.
Okay, thank you so much. It is a delight to be here. And Joe, representing all of WTIU, let me read this. And you all know how this goes. When it gets to that whereas part, you could chime in. That's nice for WTIU. So, proclamation. Whereas March 2019 marks the 50th anniversary of the first WTIU broadcast, and whereas in February of 1969, WTIU received a Western Union telegram license, allowing the station to begin broadcasting with WTIU going on air for the first time in March 3rd, 1969. And whereas WTIU serves as a PBS station on Indiana University's Bloomington campus, providing 24-hour digital channels with local, regional, and national services. And whereas beginning with a staff of 3 and operating just a single channel, WTIU has expanded into a regional powerhouse employing over 80 people who operate 5 channels, which serve an estimated 1.5 million viewers in 29 Indiana counties. And whereas, we're almost there, the successes of WTIU have long been recognized, receiving the Peabody Award for Meritorious Public Service and 3 Telly Awards for Excellence in television and video, and whereas, upon reflecting and honoring the achievements of WTIU over the past 50 years, we also look forward to the next 50 years as WTIU continues to inform and educate, foster community, and engage in civil discourse. Lastly, and whereas WTIU provides Bloomington and its neighbors programs and services that connect us all. We are eternally grateful for their commitment to our community. Now, therefore, I, John Hamilton, Mayor of the City of Bloomington, do hereby proclaim March 26, 2019 as WTIU Day in Bloomington, Indiana. Congratulations.
Manager Brad reminds me that the Be More is a PBS motto, and that was moved to this award ceremony as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're so grateful for your support of this program. And now, as this is a night of gratitude for the giving nature of our community, we'd like to take a moment to thank our event sponsors who make this evening possible through their financial support. United Way of Monroe County, that brought us here tonight. IU Credit Union, hi Brad. WTIU Public Television, the Community and Family Resources Department of the city, and the Community Foundation of Bloomington and Monroe County all get together to support this event and the celebration of volunteers in our community. The foundation, yes. The foundation provides the cash link with the Be More Awards. Each recipient tonight has earned $500 for their host organization, where he, she, or they volunteer for a sum of $5,000, which is going to go a long way in making a difference in those volunteer programs. So could we have a round of applause for these organizations who have made tonight possible? But as is very clear to everyone in this room especially, it takes more than just dollars to make a program a success. It takes people. And we have volunteers out front who we met backstage, back there, I see them, and in the booth tonight, working hard to bring this program to you, and you can read their names in the program. More thanks go out to Katz and WTIU for recording tonight's presentation, and to Wonderlab for providing free museum passes for each of our honorees. And a special note of gratitude to all those nominators. Thank you, nominators, who took the time to recognize an extraordinary individual or group as an honoree tonight. Every year, it is a gift to read those nominations and to get inspired by all of these stories of service. Our independent selection panel has the difficult task of selecting just 10 of those nominations for awards, but it is a joy to read each one. And please take a moment tonight to read some of those stories yourself in the commemorative program. I hope you all got one out front. I guarantee you'll be inspired by all 57 of them. There's not a dead in there. Not at all. And some people were nominated twice. So before you leave tonight, tell us how these stories affected you. On the back of your program, you'll see a QR code and a link. Please snap a photo of that or just hover over it. I don't know quite how it works, but use your phone, your mobile device, and share your thoughts and feedback about tonight or about anything that inspired you. We'd love to hear your feedback.
And after the program tonight, for the 7th year in a row, Natalie Kavanaugh, a server at Nick's English Hut and host of Third Thursdays at Nick's fundraisers, is hosting a special fundraiser party upstairs at Nick's. Natalie and the wait staff for our reserved area will donate all of their tips from the party, and the Knicks will donate right at 20% of food and beverage sales to the organization with the most vote tickets presented. So on your way out of the theater tonight, if you're going, pick up a ticket and it tells you to one vote for your favorite organization at the after party. And last year, I know one of the organizations received about a few $100s, so that could go a long way.
More than a few $100. So it's a nice little fundraising opportunity. We thank Natalie and this. So tonight is a time to be together with like-minded people, our tribe of givers, people who do good in our community by giving of their time, talent, and skills. We may work for different causes and different organizations, but the thing we all have in It really does. So next up on the big screen are the faces of all the nominees tonight. So pay attention, and you may see someone you know. I bet you will. It's time to make some noise for the 2019 Be More Award nominee slideshow. Take it away, Liz.
David today.
Okay, now the moment we've been waiting for. Let's begin the awards portion of the program with Bloomington Mayor John Hamilton, David Ely, a board member from the Community Foundation of Bloomington and Monroe County. Please join us on stage. And I'd like to invite Amanda Figeloff, a teacher from Bloomington High School South, to present our first award of the evening, the Be More Energized Award.
Hello. I am pleased to present the Be More Energized Award. This award is presented to an exceptional young person or to a youth group whose members are predominantly in this age group. I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the young people here tonight who were nominated in this category, and all of the young people, whether you were nominated or not, who understand that service to the community is part of being a good citizen. We need your involvement. The individual I will be presenting tonight is an excellent example of what it means to bring energy and enthusiasm to their community. As a student, they consistently enriched our classroom with diverse perspectives, personal reflection, and endless enthusiasm. Their ability to make connections between class content and life experiences brought a global worldview to their peers that perfectly complemented the curriculum in our AP Environmental Science class. But this nominee didn't stop there. They extended their commitment to the environment into service through the school's environmental club stage, students advocating for a greener environment, stepping up at every opportunity to serve. The recipient of the Be More Energized Award for 2019 is Thais Hauschrecht. She is the recipient for her service through Bloomington High School South Sage and Spanish clubs. Mayor John Hamilton will present, it's kind of weird, present you with your award, and David Yelly will present a check for $500 from the Community Foundation to both Sage and Spanish clubs at South in honor of your service. Unfortunately for us, Thais is out of the country right now, but her mother, Mazinia Hauschrecht, will be receiving the award on her behalf. Please join us on stage.
Thank you for organizing. We moved to Bloomington in 2001, and I had two kids, kids and young adults in Bloomington, and I really, this represents a lot to me, I must say the truth, as a mother, because everything that Bloomington gave to us, all the opportunities, the volunteers, the additional volunteer, not only that, she also had a lot of political campaign volunteers since she was 13. And she didn't want to include this kind of information, but I just want to say that we always have opportunity to volunteer and to make our own community. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda and Israel. Congratulations to Thais. A familiar face already, Brian Yaley from the Community Foundation is our next presenter, coming to the podium to present the Be More Eligible Award.
Hello, my name is Brian Yaley, and I'm the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors at the Community Foundation of Bloomington, Monroe County. and I have the pleasure of filling in tonight for a couple of folks who I'm sure everyone in this room knows quite well, Tina Peterson and Marcus White. And so I apologize on behalf of the Community Foundation. You're kind of getting the third place hitter here with me. So, but Tina and Marcus are both out of town, and they obviously send their best, and they're very jealous of all of us being here tonight. I have to admit that I was thrilled to find out that I would be the one asked to present the Be More Knowledgeable Award. Since I joined the Community Foundation's board several years ago, the issue of education, whether that be early childhood education or any form of education thereafter, has been a central issue for all of us. And as the Community Foundation's work continues with Regional Opportunities Initiative, also known as ROI, education remains at the absolute forefront of our goal of furthering economic and community prosperity in Southwest Central Indiana. The Be More Knowledgeable Award spotlights excellence in the area of education and literacy. There were a whopping 15 nominations in this category, 13 individuals and 2 groups representing an extremely wide range of programs. And I would like to take this moment to honor each and every individual and group nominated in this most important category. So if we Your continued efforts are extremely important to not only the individuals you assist, but also to this wonderful community each of us has the privilege of calling home. The recipient honored with the Be More Knowledgeable Award this year has impacted the lives of more than 250 individuals over the course of his or her extensive volunteering career. It is estimated that 1 of every 10 adults in Monroe County needs assistance with literacy and language skills. And our deserving recipient has been at the forefront of reaching this vulnerable 10% for more than 6 years. So I know I'm not supposed to give anything away, so I better stop there. The recipient of the Be More Knowledgeable Award for 2019 is Molly Gleason.
An introvert, so I feel like going to a dark corner somewhere. But thank you very much. This is a great honor to me. I must thank Bethany and Jackie and Audra and all the people who work at Vital. It's a very vital place. And I especially must thank the students who are absolutely an inspiration to me every single day. And they don't really ask very much. And they take me as I am, and I greatly appreciate that. Thank you again.
Thank you, Brian, and congratulations to Molly and the Vital program. Our next presenter is Brian Price, President and CEO of the IU Credit Union. Brian will present the Be More Compassionate Award.
Good evening. Hello, Wellington. I thought the mayor got you a little more excited than that, so I thought I'd wake you up just a bit. I want to see your compassion. This is our presentation now. I'm pleased to present the Be More Compassionate Award. This award recognizes an individual or group who has displayed exceptional service in the area of animal welfare. Nominations in this category included services from animal rescue to foster care to rehabilitation of reptiles, canines, and everything in between. A pretty wide open category. Since 2006, this individual has been a Wonder Lab volunteer, caring for the animals in the living exhibits as if they were his own. He knows each animal's likes, dislikes, quirks, and what makes each one unique. When he's on site, the animals are receiving the care they need. That is for certain. This individual is also one of Wonder Lab's most effective volunteers and engages one-on-one with visitors, introducing to the various animals in the collection. Beyond his service to visitors, he acts as a mentor and trainer for IU interns in the animal exhibit department. And I quote, "As a result of his efforts, staff transitions are easier, and we can count on him to cover the gaps and to comfort the animals as they adjust to new caretakers. He covers shifts, will come in early, stay late, work holidays and weekends, and always will smile. We should all be like that, I'm sure. The recipient is a vital part of the Wonder Lab experience for so many visitors. In nearly 13 years, he has interacted with as many as 67,000 visitors and has mentored hundreds of IU interns. Wonder Lab values all of its volunteers, and as you probably know, rarely singles out an individual. This volunteer's sustained effort and commitment is truly remarkable and worthy of this special recognition. The recipient of the Be More Compassion Award for 2019 is Ted Unman. Well, the mayor's already greeted you and you've received your check. Might you share a few words with us? Please.
Well, I truly want to thank all the people at the Wonder Lab for nominating me, and I want to thank all the other volunteers in here. I know I worked with 3 or 4 other organizations here over the same period of time. Thank you all.
Brian and Ted for being the snake person, so I don't have to. Our next presenter is Efrat Prepperman, the Executive Director of United Way of Monroe County. Efrat will present the Be More Healthy Award.
Good evening. I am so pleased to present the Be More Healthy Award. United Way of Monroe County fights for everyone in our community to have the opportunity to earn more, learn more, and lead safer and healthier lives. And this award is presented for exceptional efforts in the area of health, wellness, or recreation. It was a very full category with 11 nominees, 9 individuals and 2 groups. We would like to honor all of the people who were nominated. We appreciate that you make Bloomington the fun and creative place that it is. There's that old adage we've all heard, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And researchers across fields of expertise have backed up this sentiment in tangible ways over the years. For a nonprofit organization whose mission it is to support survivors of sexual violence, domestic violence, and human trafficking, preventative efforts are critical to reducing incidents of highly traumatic events for our friends and neighbors. Tonight's recipient of the Be More Healthy Award has focused on expanding and enhancing the prevention programming at Middle Way House, a United Way member agency, over the past 3 years, drawing upon her background in education and counseling, as well as her deep commitment to empowering youth in Monroe County. Beginning her volunteer work as an on-scene advocate and working alongside the prevention coordinator who oversees workshops aimed at 7th through 10th graders, this person listened to students' stories of trauma and violence and soon identified a need to expand programming to include elementary age students. This school year, a curriculum she developed for 3rd through 5th graders with an emphasis on social emotional learning, a proven prevention strategy, rolled out to 6 after-school and child care programs in Monroe County. The program reached hundreds of area children, and the pre and post surveys indicate significant and encouraging results, which ultimately will lessen the likelihood that these participants will perpetrate sexual violence, thereby making Monroe County a safer and healthier community. Deepening her dedicated service to our community, tonight's recipient continues to also facilitate programming for older students and has more recently joined the board of directors for Middle Way House. The nomination cites her persistent positivity and compassion in her interactions with everyone at Middle Way House and at partner sites, and her positive regard and loving affirmations for those she interacts with, which brighten the day of staff and participants. The recipient of the Be More Healthy Award for 2019 is Peg Smith from Middle Way House.
I'm so overwhelmed right now. Thank you so much to Middle Way House for providing me this amazing opportunity to do what I love to do, and that is to teach children and to encourage people to be good and kind. It has been amazing. Just last week, a young college student came in and asked, what Middle Way House did for me, and I was so overwhelmed. I surprisingly just burst out into tears. And this award is for me, but it's really for all those people at Middle Way House who do such amazing work in the community. And I accept that for them. So thank you so much. And also my husband, who's always 100% supportive of everything I do. Thank you.
And Peg, for your incredible dedication. Next up is my colleague at WTIU, Brent Molnar, who will present the Be More Phenomenal Award.
I'd like to thank the mayor just briefly for the proclamation and all the whereas. It really means a lot for those of us who work with the station that someone's paying attention to the work we do and what we do to serve the communities. It's really an honor to be part of the community and to participate in your homes and in your lives. So thank you. So tonight I'm pleased to present the Be More Sustainable Award. This award honors innovation, leadership, and positive impacts in promoting the principles of sustainability in the environmental sector. The nominees in this category represented several different aspects of thoughtful environmental stewardship, from invasive plant awareness to woodland trail and bridge building. We'd like to thank all of those nominated because you understand better than most how important this work is. So thank you. And now just a brief side note about a related collaborative program that the City of Bloomington is doing this year, and hopefully you'll see how it's related in just a moment. And now more than ever, access to fresh, affordable, healthy food has become imperative in every community as an issue of equity and social justice. In 2019, Bloomington's declared this the Year of Food in the city, and that's a year-long campaign facilitated by the Department of Economic and Sustainable Development to promote food equity in the community and economic opportunities for local farmers. The Year of Food is pursuing goals outlined in the recently approved City of Bloomington Sustainability Action Plan and seeks to address the issues of food insecurity in the community while simultaneously strengthening the local food economy. You can learn more about the incentive and how to get involved, because where else to recruit volunteers than at the Be More Awards, at the Bloomington Volunteer Network.org/yearoffood. Again, that's BloomingtonVolunteerNetwork.org/yearoffood. So now, as we say in television, back to our regularly scheduled program. An organization, let's see. We're going to recognize an organization that is oh no, we're not recognizing this organization. An organization that is a leader in food equity in our community is Mother Hubbard's Covered, but they are not the recipients of the Be More Sustainable Award tonight. Mother Hubbard's Covered does, however, believe that access to healthy food is a basic human right. From their low-barrier, client-choice food pantry to their free-for-harvest community garden and their ever-busy kitchen, food is the foundation of nearly all of their programming. As a food-centered organization, they find themselves with hundreds of pounds of food scraps every day. Now, without action, those scraps would end up sitting in a landfill instead of in their garden, enriching soil and the harvest it provides to their community and clients. One thing I can say about our recipient of the Be More Sustainable Award tonight is that getting dirty does not scare them. Smells do not scare them. Hard physical work is at the core of their service, and it takes a lot of muscle to turn thousands of pounds of food scraps into beautiful, nutrient-dense, and maybe even delicious soil. Although, from what I'm learning, it may smell a lot like sauerkraut. In 2018, the recipients of this award diverted 36,015 pounds of food scraps from a landfill. That's more than 18 tons of food scraps. And they spent nearly 300 hours hauling, chopping, and turning food scraps into soil. Without this group's efforts, those scraps would end up sitting in a landfill instead of enriching the soil and the harvest it provides to Mother Hubbard's Covered and their community. So please welcome to the stage the recipients of the Be More Sustainable Award for 2019, the well-deserving Hub Composting Crew from Mother Hubbard's Covered. So after your photo, I hope there's a photo. Thank you guys. Because this is the Academy Awards of Bloomington, I wrote a speech. The Hub is so lucky to have such dedicated composting volunteers. We'd like to thank Bill Perry, Shelley Cook, Kathy Gutowski, Rodney Cox, Rob Green, Brittany Rose, and everyone else involved. You all have picked MHC's dirtiest, smelliest volunteer opportunity, and I'm honored to help coordinate the incredible work that you do. Our food system is far from perfect, but you all help divert so much waste, 36,000 pounds, from landfills and turn it into something beautiful so that we can grow life in our gardens and share it with the communities we serve. Through providing fresh produce and flowers, educating folks on compost and workshops, or just sending it home with patrons to use for themselves. What you've accomplished is truly everlasting. And I'd like to give a special thanks to Erica Wheeler for running such a successful garden program. Thank you.
Congratulations to the Hub team. Now I'd like to welcome Beverly Callender Anderson to the stage. Beverly is the director of the City of Bloomington's Community and Family Resources Department, home of the Bloomington Volunteer Network at the city. She will present the Be More Involved Award.
Good evening. I am so thrilled for those applause, thank you. And really happy to be presenting the Be More Involved Award. This award recognizes a college student or a student group who demonstrates exceptional leadership, effort, and vision in their community volunteer activities. A number of wonderful individuals and groups were nominated in this category, and I want to thank them all for engaging with the community and for recognizing how volunteering can create deeper meaning and connections while living in Bloomington during your college years. So how many college students do we have out there? Yeah. So thank you all for being involved. This year's recipient of the Be More Involved Award is a group who prides themselves in cultivating an environment that fosters positive social interactions within the Indiana University Bloomington community in several ways. And one of those ways is service to the Bloomington community. They regularly volunteer at the Banneker Community Center by sponsoring holiday meals, arts and crafts activities, and Dr. Martin Luther King holiday programs. Education is very important to tonight's recipient. That said, the organization intimately understands how essential it is to provide assistance and tutoring to students who may need help outside the classroom. Their signature program aims to level the playing field by reinforcing lessons learned in the classroom and helping students to understand the material. Since students who struggle in the classroom often fall behind and lose interest in school, this organization's ultimate goal is to assist these students to graduate and to pursue higher education. Each Wednesday, the members of this outstanding organization meet with 10 to 20 elementary, middle, and high school students at Bethel AME Church during the church's after-school homework program. The students come prepared with questions they may have about their classroom lessons from that week. By helping students understand the material and answering their questions, this group of graduate students makes sure these young people do not fall behind in the classroom, which results in higher student grades, reduced anxiety and frustration on the part of students, and a retention of interest in education. Additionally, this organization holds regular fundraisers in order to provide snacks for the children attending the after-school homework program. Because of the impact they are making in the lives of students and in the Bloomington community, they already know who they are. The recipient of the Be More Involved Award for 2019 is the Black Graduate Student Association for their service to Bethel.
To be able to give back to the community, especially as it relates to education and literacy and immersion in the lives of young students. We're also very happy to have the pastors of Bethel AME Church, the Howards, here with us to accept this award and the gift that comes along with the award. Thank you so much.
Black Graduate Student Association. Our next presenter is Dr. Carlos Bacota. Dr. Bacota, if you could join us at the podium, as a member of the Hoosier Action and Community Volunteer with La Escuelita para Todos. He will present the Be More Influential Award tonight.
I rarely use the doctrinal handle, but I thought I would give some prestige to this thing. It's true, it's not a lie, but anyway, it goes into whereas I am pleased to present the Be More Influential Award. This award is, for me, this is a very personal, almost emotional kind of thing to be doing for the recipient. The recipient and the Latino community, family, and friends are the most important things. And the recipient, I don't know how he does it. He makes friends with everybody, and everyone loves him. And within the Latino community, you either love or hate it. You're either talking to everyone or you don't talk to anybody. But he's managed to navigate the diverse community which is the Latino community. The award, okay, get down to business. Whereas the awards, the alcalde is giving me a lot of good ideas. The award is presented for exceptional efforts within an arts or cultural-based organization, endeavor, or issue. This was a very full category with 18 nominees. I'm surprised there are not even more, given the nature of Bloomington's rich cultural basis. I mean, this is a real living cultural center in our country, especially in the Midwest, especially in Indiana. 13 individuals and 5 groups. We would like to honor all of the people who were nominated. So let's give them all. This year's recipient has, for many years, made a very personal choice. I want to emphasize personal choice, an independent choice, a heartfelt choice that he made to encourage a vibrant Latino culture within the university and within the Latino community, 2 separate worlds. All of you are volunteers, so you know what it means to work in 2 separate worlds. But with the Latino community, it gets a little bit more difficult because sometimes members of the Latino would rather be left alone for obvious reasons. I think there are obvious reasons, and in this group you should all know what's going on at the present time in the country. This recipient also carries the heavy teaching loads of a core lecturer. I'm sure you all know what the core lecturer is all about within the university. It's a way, well, I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, it's a very heavy teaching load, extremely heavy. But given that heavy teaching load, he has managed for several years to shine the light of recognition on talented students and community leaders. The recipient is actually, the person who goes out and looks in the community, looks at the university, talks to people, and encourages them. Students, faculty, community people. The recipient goes out of his way to give them a little push, a little recognition. Whether it's a 5th grader graduating to the 6th grade, hey, wait, I can't go into that, I'm sorry, because then it's not a mystery anymore. He is part of just about every Latino cultural and community event here in the city. When I was asked to be the presenter, I thought of the many roles that the recipient plays. And I asked myself, if there is only really one of these people, there might be a whole group of the same recipient. There might be 6 of them represent, because how can you do so many different things? It's amazing. With that heavy teaching load as a core lecture. So that it seemed to me there was a certain kind of magic realism in this award given to the recipient. Not that he's a magician or anything, but he comes out of this tradition of magic realism. Given the realities and the realism of the university in which the recipient works, what the recipient has done is a kind of magic. He really does bring the community together in just amazing kinds of ways. You have no idea how diverse our community is. I mean, I'm sure you're working with us, so you must know that we're not all cut from the same cloth. And some of us are just getting here, some of us have been here all our lives, some of us come from New York, some of them, well, it's a very difficult group at times to get on board on a certain kind of issue or program. But he has used his position as a cultural guru of the Latino community very, very effectively. He has used culture. He has used the rich heritage of Latin America to enlighten the community in general. And he's built bridges within the Latino community. This is a very important thing. He is able to do a very difficult task. And I really admire him and respect him. He's an amazing person. And how he can do all these things, he does it all over the state. He just doesn't do it in Bloomington, but he does it everywhere. So I would like now, one thing I'd like to say before I know I'm rambling, it's time to go. But, you know, this recipient is always getting awards and standing by people who are getting awards and acknowledging them and doing a lot of things to promote them. And I would hope that we could give him an extra, you know, loud applause because he deserves it. He never gets it. He's always, you know, getting the awards. So if we could give him, you know, a loud, raucous, joyous applause, that would really be great. And you can even punctuate it with a couple of bravos, as we do in Spanish. So, without further ado, oh no, who is it? With this year's winner of this year's recipient of the more influential award of 2019 is Israel, Profesor Israel Rodríguez. Quiero tomar un cafecito. Where's my coffee cup? They gave me the coffee cup, but they didn't give me the coffee.
I don't have a speech, I don't have a paper, because as Carlos mentioned, my role is to nominate. That's my role now. I don't know what to do, but I really thank you for everything. I really thank Ricardo and everyone who nominated me, and also Carlos, very great friend. I know him from different, actually. You also deserve the award because he's also everywhere. We share work during the Commission on Hispanic and Latino Affairs, and I should thank the Bloomington community for the welcoming environment that we have in general. The way that we are included in the efforts that the city, with our mayor, also does, having a commission on Hispanic and Latino affairs. Not too many cities in Bloomington, not too many cities in Indiana have this opportunity to have a group who works for the Latino community. And this is an award that I would like to share with my family. I was upset because I have a little girl over there. And my wife, Claudia, all the Latino friends, but also all the Bloomington community, because as Carlos mentioned, we all here in Bloomington, we are all together, and we are recognized in the state as a very unique place in Bloomington for the community and also for the university, where we can live together. So thank you very much. Those words come from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Bloomington. Thank you, the city, and thank you, my friend.
Thank you again, Dr. Dakota, and thank you, Israel, for being such a positive influence. Our next presenter is Kyra Richardson. Kyra is the 2019 Black History Month Women's Outstanding Leader of Tomorrow Award recipient. Kyra will present the Be More Collaborative Award.
Good evening. I am pleased to present the Be More Collaborative Award. This award is presented to a group of volunteers or a family that demonstrates outstanding volunteer engagement. An amazing array of 23 groups were nominated. Groups that support education, music, theater, children, housing, the environment, science, those living in poverty, and several others. The organizations where you volunteer couldn't do it without you, so thank you so much from all of us. This year's recipients are a group of volunteers that have shown tireless commitment to the organization, its mission, and the women and families that it serves. In today's society, where access to non-judgmental and comprehensive healthcare services is not guaranteed, we are thankful for the time and endurance of this group to show up when they are needed the most. Helping patients feel safer to access care with the privacy and the dignity that they deserve. In fact, this group has assisted in welcoming over 600 patients each year, totaling over 21,000 patients during the 35 years that this group has been in existence. With over 92 volunteers ranging in age, with the eldest being 82 years young, and 4 of the volunteers traveling from Indianapolis on a weekly basis, these individuals collaborate for one common cause: a human right, the right to reproductive choice. This group's nominator wrote the following: these volunteers experience physical as well as emotional discomfort in ensuring the well-being and sense of safety for each patient that arrives at the Bloomington Health Center. With the presence of protesters, patients can become embroiled in the discomforting politics of reproductive choice on an already upsetting day. These volunteers neither judge the patients nor the protesters. They are only there for patient support. Without this group, patients would find themselves approached by well-meaning but determined strangers, seeking to share their beliefs and values, giving unsolicited advice about a private and difficult decision. This group is skilled in de-escalating rising tensions to ensure unencumbered passage into the health center. This group receives limited recognition in the community because they are associated with the controversy of reproductive choice. This should not count against them. They deserve this award. And I am pleased to say that the committee agreed. The recipients of the Be More Collaborative Award for 2019 are the Volunteer Clinic Escorts of Planned Parenthood of Indiana and Kentucky.
collaborated on our outfits, I hope you noticed. Thank you so much. A shout out to our nominator, the Reproductive Justice Task Force of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Bloomington. And also, thank you, heartfelt thanks to the City of Bloomington's Volunteer Support Network. This is very wonderful to have this public recognition, and I'm glad that we were judged on the merits of our volunteerism and not on the politics of Planned Parenthood. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyra, and congratulations to these very committed volunteers. So we have two more to go. I'd like to invite Rachel Guglielmo to the stage. Rachel is a busy mom, a community volunteer, and an activist for many issues in our local and national conversation. Rachel, would you join me at the podium? Now, this is the Be More Phenomenal Award.
Good evening. I am delighted to present the Be More Phenomenal Award. This award honors dedicated volunteer efforts to fulfill the mission of a nonprofit or governmental organization through advocacy or board or committee leadership. There were 5 incredibly strong nominations in this category, and I think all of us in this hall tonight know the importance of leadership volunteers, people who are willing to take initiative, to make decisions, and take ownership of them. So let's take a moment to recognize all of the leadership volunteers. The phenomenal individual we'll be honoring tonight presents us with a case study in extraordinary leadership and responding to a need and a gap that she identified in our community by living it firsthand. In 2006, Bloomington did not have an organization specifically dedicated to serving the needs of individuals with Down syndrome and their families. New parents often struggled to identify or simply remained unaware of the resources that were available to support them. They lacked opportunities to come together with other families to celebrate their unique and uniquely wonderful children. And without these opportunities, our broader community lacked opportunities to learn from the beautiful faces and extraordinary lives of these individuals and their families. Without that exposure, that contact, and the direct knowledge that flows from it, there was little awareness among businesses and other organizations servicing the disability community in Bloomington of what hardworking, reliable, punctual, and positive employees they can be, and how much they have to contribute to our community. So she set about filling this gap, answering this need, by joining with a small group of other parents to found the Down Syndrome Family Connection. And since then, she's helped identify and then filled virtually every leadership role in that organization, promoting education and public awareness, organizing community events, managing fundraising, financial development, and reaching out to and supporting new families. So now, more than a decade later, new parents of children with Down syndrome are not alone. They're immediately surrounded, embraced by, and welcomed into a community. They receive welcome packets with information and resources. They learn, and our broader community learns with them, how to dispel myths about Down syndrome, how to talk about issues relating to Down syndrome in a way that is both factually accurate and respectful of individuals with Down syndrome and their families and caregivers. Our community now has access to educational tools such as the Beautiful Faces Extraordinary Lives calendars, and advocates from the connection to guide us in utilizing them. We have opportunities to come together to celebrate those beautiful faces in person at events such as the Coco Couture Fashion Show, featuring models with Down syndrome, Many of our kids have particularly enjoyed her presentations at their elementary schools, featuring the challenge of featuring the opportunity to learn what it's like to live with Down syndrome by trying to talk with a marshmallow in their mouths, to know what it's like to have an oversized tongue. And if you have not had the opportunity to see her testimony, I'd like to close by saying that we have all of us benefited from her advocacy. Not only the families of children with Down syndrome, but those with children with other disabilities, other significant health issues. And that's all of us. All of us face significant health issues ourselves or with a member of our family at some time in our lives. If you've not had the opportunity to see her testimony in defense of the Affordable Care Act before a Senate committee, I highly recommend Googling it. But make sure that you have tissues at the ready. Our recipient has been tireless in honoring the phenomenal qualities of individuals with Down syndrome and the phenomenal families who love and support them. It is truly my great pleasure tonight to join with our community in honoring her. The recipient of the Be More Phenomenal Award for 2019 is Cindy Johnson.
If this is the Academy Awards of Bloomington, then I clearly came unprepared because I thought there was no chance that this could happen. But 12 years ago, I learned that my unborn baby would have Down syndrome, and my husband and I have never been the same, and I have to say that's a good thing. And I decided right away to seek out the experts, that is, other mamas who had a child with Down syndrome, and I found them very fast. Rosalie Sherwood is here with us tonight, and Nola Blumendahl, who is in the throes of moving from Florida to South Carolina, even as we speak, really should be standing next to me tonight because I wouldn't be here doing this now and continuing to carry on the great work of Down Syndrome Family Connection without the two of them. And I also want to thank John Bundy, our new incoming president, for nominating me. I'm truly, truly grateful for this. And I obviously wouldn't be here without my beautiful daughters. So Rebecca, good night and thank you. I love you, sweet pea.
Thank you very much, Cindy and Rachel, for your unending work as mothers and advocates. And now the Mayor of Bloomington, John Hamilton, will present our final award, the Be More Dedicated Award for a Lifetime of Service.
Thank you very much. Whereas it's a good evening. Does it not fill your heart to be in this place? Here with you all and celebrating the remarkable community spirit of all of you in this room, particularly 57 remarkable individuals and groups. All of you winners tonight and celebrating with us this what you give to this community. It's just fantastic and it feels so good, and I want you all to raise the roof with your good spirits and your love of this place. Thank you all. voice support to issues you care about, community assets that you work to protect and strengthen. We celebrate the impact that you have in our community. You demonstrate that in collections and collectivity we unite in service. We bring people together to tackle tough challenges, build a stronger, more vibrant, inclusive community. You take a passion, you find a passion, and you turn it into meaningful change. And you inspire others to do the same. And that is why this is one of my favorite nights of the year, because it is passing along these love notes that you send to our community every day. Now, for the final award of the evening, the Be More Dedicated Award, which honors an individual who has made a lifelong commitment to bettering our community through service. 11 people were nominated in this category. The commitment and perseverance of every one of these nominees are phenomenal. I want to take this moment, if you would join me, to extend our heartiest appreciation to all 11 who were nominated for a lifetime of service to our community. Now, the rules are we have to pick one. So the recipient of the Be More Dedicated Award has been a vital force behind several social service organizations for many years. He has, that's the first thing, he has impacted literally thousands of people in Monroe County, including those who are experiencing homelessness, mental health issues, or adjusting to life outside of prison. He has supported families and children, the arts, education, human rights, and peaceful resistance, causes from environmental and political to social service policy change. Tonight's Be More Dedicated Award winner started a publication in 2005 that continues in 2019 to be a vital resource for people in need in Bloomington. This publication gives helpful information about how to access services delivered by local nonprofits and government agencies, and shares personal success stories written by people who have benefited from those services. On top of collating all this information, this volunteer provides direct assistance to just about all of the agencies represented in the publication. To name just a few, he has served on the board of directors of the Interfaith Winter Shelter and volunteered at one of the shelters once a week. Served on the board of directors as a Jobs Link volunteer and in the kitchen of the Shalom Community Center, providing daytime support to those experiencing homelessness. Volunteered at Community Kitchen, volunteered at Harmony School, was one of the original organizers of and participated many years in Bloomington's Homeward Bound Walk, has been a big in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program in Bloomington. Our Be More Dedicated honoree has played a foundational role in a number of organizations too, including founding and serving on the board of directors of New Leaf, New Life, the nonprofit organization that runs therapeutic programs for people experiencing incarceration after they're released. Being involved from the beginning in South Central Community Action Program's Thriving Connections, anti-poverty community building group, where he's donated well over 1,000 hours of his time, helping to found the Puck Players Puppet Theater. It is important to note that our honoree has not just helped from 10,000 feet, on a board, or from a desk. This individual has been in the trenches, forming personal relationships and sacrificing his own comfort on behalf of others. For 7 years, our honoree, along with this individual spouse, partnered with a family who lived in poverty to support their goals as they moved toward prosperity. In nominating this person for the Lifetime Service Award, South Central Community Action Program told us this, quote, "The twinkle in his eye has lightened the heart of social work staff and clients alike. His smile has made a man who is homeless know someone cares. His donations have prevented families from losing their housing. His animated personality and sense of silliness has provided free and rich entertainment for laughing children and adults in their lives. As the need for help has increased, he has tirelessly stepped up. It is clear that Monroe County would be a different place if he hadn't been involved in our lives. I could go on and on, but now you have probably figured out the identity of the retired IU biology professor and publisher of Safety Net, who is our 2019 Be More Dedicated Award recipient. please honor David White.
Can you all hear me? First of all, as you might expect, I'm very surprised. You know something? Anything? I want to say thank you to all the other people who have served our community. It's so important that everybody, that we all recognize, and if you know them, give them a hug. Say thank you. That's so important. And I know it's late. I know I shouldn't talk too much. But I am. Well, but I've done it already, she said. I do have a sense of humor, don't I? I could entertain you by singing, but then you'll slow things down. Okay, I know it's late and you all have to go home. But thank you very, very much, everybody. Everybody, thank you. Thank you.
Your vote tickets out in the lobby. There'll be people out there handing those out. And that concludes this very special program.